broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Houston, Texas. It's time for Houston Business Radio. Now, here's your host.
Hello, Houston. Trisha Stetzel here, bringing you another episode of Houston Business Radio. It is my pleasure. And by the way, another guest introduced to me through BNI Network, which is really fun and interesting. It is my pleasure to have Lilly on with me today, Kirby and Z Interior Designs. She and I have had the opportunity to catch up a couple of times before, and she does amazing work. Lilly, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Pleasure to be here.
I'm so excited. We had some really good conversation before we started recording today, so I can't wait to really dig into the details. So Lilly, if you wouldn't mind, just give our audience a little background and how you got into interior design in the first place.
So I was asked the age-old question, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I was about 30. A little late to the game. We had adopted a baby, and it was something, I wanted to be a mom first. So I decided interior design was in my blood and my passion, and, started working for a firm and realized that I was working too many hours to be a mom. And so I decided to go out on my own, and voila, Kirby and Z was born. And so we've been in business for 10 years now, and the baby is 13, 14 now. So yeah, she's a big girl.
Goodness, Lilly, by the way, 30 is not too old to be asking yourself, what do I want to be when I grow up? Because I'm still asking. I'm way past 30. I know that you have a passion for this particular industry, and I want to focus on a couple of areas that I'm curious about. We've talked a little bit about color and the psychology behind that, and it sounds like it's really important when it comes to decorating, whether it's in your home, in your office, or even in a corporate space. Tell me more about color and the psychology of colors around decorating.
So I have done a couple of talks for a real estate agent and, some friends, and just kind of diving into the color. If you go into a dentist office, like a pediatric dentist, they're going to have these vibrant colors because they want these kids to kind of feel comfortable and still happy-go-lucky, when they're coming into the dentist office, because it can be scary. And so it's just one of those things. It's kind of like, you tell me who your friends are, I'll tell you who you are. It's the same principle. Who and what you surround yourself with is going to evoke a feeling. And so a lot of times I will walk into a place, for example, hospital, and, I see these bleak colors. And in my mind, I'm just like, wow, they should have brighter colors, to help these people get through whatever they're getting through here at the hospital. And so it makes a difference, what you surround yourself with, whether it be at home or in your business. One of the things that I do like to do with a lot of my clients is when they are decorating their bedrooms, a lot of times we'll make those colors a deeper color. Why is that? Well, because that's where you're going to bed, right? It's time to calm down. It's time to bring your blood pressure down. And some of these colors have shown, to do that. So it's important.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So I get in this corporate environment or hospital environments what those colors should look like. So I want to dive back into this home environment where the bedroom should be dark. What about like kitchens or living rooms? Is it about your personality? Is there like a color palette that you suggest more often than not? What does that look like when helping a client pick out colors?
It is going to depend a lot on the client themselves. I'll ask them like, what colors do you like? And a lot of times they will say, oh, I like all colors. And my response is, okay, we'll do purple with green polka dots. Okay, I don't like green and purple. Okay, what color do you like? And so it's my job to like drill down, what do you like? Where do you live? So if you come into my house, it's I have 2 chairs that have teal and pink and lime green. And so that's where I like to live. So if you're going into a kitchen and it's your personality, to be bright, you go with bright blues, bright yellows. You want something a little more subdued, then you would go maybe, with like a navy countertop. And a lot of times, it just depends on the client. And that is one of the things that I pride myself in as a designer is listening to what the client wants, not necessarily me being the designer, picking for the client. It's about listening.
Yeah, I love it. And I love that you said purple with green polka dots or whatever it was, right? Like, oh, okay, maybe I don't love all colors.
Yeah. Mhm.
So I have a question for you. For those of you who can't see this on video because it's only audio, I sit in an office with no color because my walls are all cedar. So what does that say about me, Lily?
You're okay with living in cedar.
I love that. That's funny. It
Yeah,
is
you're
a
doing
tiny
good.
house. Just to be clear, it's a tiny house. So I'm not painting the cedar, but I do have some really cool paintings. It's all filled with brightly colored music
Mhm.
artwork. So that probably says some crazy things about me, right?
Yeah. And that's what it is. Your personality comes out through what you surround yourself with, and people don't realize it sometimes. I did have a period in my life where I wasn't as happy, and I did, battle depression a little bit. And that was around the time that we moved into this house. And I had a friend come in and she said, this house doesn't look like you. And I
Mm.
kind of took a step back and I was like, ooh, that's because I was not in the right space when I decorated. And so I decorated to where I was at in my life. And it was the weirdest thing that she was able to point that out, but I was able to take a step back and be like, "Oh, we need to redo this." And now we've got, the pinks and the blues and the lime greens that, I'm talking about. And so it does. It matters. It really does.
Yeah, I can see that where colors really bring your personality to life, meaning things that make you happy, right? And it
Mhm.
really brings out the best in you, even just thinking about the clothes. So it's just as important to think about the colors in your house as it is, ladies, to pick out the outfit that you love, right? You're going to go in your closet, you're going to pick out an outfit and wear a certain color. You know which colors you like and which ones you don't. It's just as important to have that surrounding you in
Yeah.
your home and even in your office. So I'm curious, Lily, what types of clients do you typically work with? Is it home? Is it office? Is it home office? What does that look like for you?
So mostly do residential. Occasionally, I'll have an existing client ask, "Hey, can you put some stuff in my office?" But it's mostly residential that we stick to.
Okay.
The demographic, we did some research and come to find out that it's mostly women. I think it was over the age of 40 and divorced men. Very weird, but those are my clients
Hey.
that have been drawing to me. And so, yeah, those have been my clients. But, in between, I've had families starting, couples starting new families where we do a nursery. We have, a library shelves built into an existing office for, all the clients are now working from home. So it just varies.
Oh, wow. I love that. I know you and I had a longer conversation the last time we met about all of these. Most of them are women, the people that I engage with that are moving from office to work from home. And they're sitting in a place that's not actually their office. And how great would it be to engage with someone like you who could help them through the process of really turning that into a place that they can grow their business? Like that sounds
Absolutely.
amazing. Yeah, that sounds like so much fun. So the most it is interesting that your clients are women over 40 and divorced men. So if you're listening, Lily might be your gal, right? Especially for those of you who have started working from home. And by the way, just from a business perspective, you need to fill your office with things that make you happy and excited and the things that are going to help you flourish. And I know that Lily, you could help folks with that. Really get that office into a space where they can grow, right? You don't want it to be a place where you dread going to the office, even in your own home, right? Yeah. Um, so talk to me about why having someone like you with your skills on my team is important. So why would I hire an interior designer in the first place?
A lot of times it is less expensive to hire me than for you to go out and buy furniture out on your own.
Okay.
Ooh, that's shocking, right? So a lot of times you go into a furniture store and their ceilings are going to be either 22-foot ceilings or it's a giant store. And so you find this wonderful bed that looks amazing. You buy it, you get it home, and you realize, oh, my ceilings are 9-foot ceilings. And all of a sudden, you have this enormous bed taking up the entire space of your room and you have room for nothing else. And so a lot of times that's where I can come in and just consult and just be like, okay, this is a great bed and everything, but let's see if we can find something that actually is to scale for your house. And so I do have one client in particular. She hired me for that reason. And she told me, she's like, I know that if I do not hire a designer, I'm going to end up spending more money because I'll get it to the house. It's the wrong shade, it's the wrong size, it's whatever. So a lot of times it's just easier to have that person that does this for a living to come in and just say, hey, this is going to work. This isn't going to work. Let's see what we can find that's going to make you happy and still give you what you want.
Yeah. I love that. My bed's way too big for my bedroom. Lily, I might need I'm one of those. Well, and just to give myself a little credit, it was because we moved from one house to another house, and we had that bed there, and well, it doesn't exactly fit here. It fills the room, which is okay. Let's. I know that most of your clientele, as you mentioned in your study, are women over 40 and divorced men. But I also know that there's another area that you specialize in, which is aging in place. Can we talk a little bit more about that? Like, what does it mean and how do you help?
Absolutely. So, aging in place is exactly what it says, aging in place. A lot of my clients are baby boomers that are now empty nesters, retiring. And a lot of times the choices are they either move to a facility where, aging in, I forget what the name of the facility is. Anyway, a facility where they can grow older, they have assistance if needed, or they have to downsize to a smaller house. And a lot of times I can come in and I can just help them by opening bathroom doors, to fit a wheelchair or a walker if needed later on in life. I can reinforce the walls so that we can add grab bars to showers, bathrooms, stairwells, different areas of the house. Install different kind of flooring that's not going to be so slippery so that, as they're shuffling along, which happens, it's going to happen to, most of us, they don't slip and fall. I even went as far as installing a heated floor for one client, which is in Houston. She's like, yes. I was like, all right, let's do it. So we did it. And recently we installed an elevator for another client, same thing, aging in place. It's a 4-story house. She doesn't want to move. And we did research and we looked at all of our choices as far as like, this is where you can move to, or this is where you can stay. And this is what we can do. Price point, I brought in a real estate agent to help her. This is how much your house will sell for. This is what we're going to buy for, your new facility. And we just went through the whole process with her and helped her make that final decision, to remodel and install an elevator. So, it makes me happy to see her, in her little elevator, and she had a party and brought all her friends over. And so it's very cool. So, yeah.
Wow. You do so much more, Lily, than just help people with colors. It's amazing. And so for those listeners who know me well enough, you know that I have lots of energy that I put into my grandmother and my mother. And these things are so important, Lily. There are studies that say our seniors who are getting older and older fear losing their independence more than they do actually passing away, which is this space that you're in, which is aging in place and helping them be able to stay at home and keep their independence is so important. We have so many baby boomers living right now who are in that difficult place, right? Can I stay here or do I need to go to a facility? So in that in that space as well. So you do some, can we call it remodeling? Like so aging in place, you're doing a lot more than just interior design. So can you really describe all of the services that you can provide for your clients?
Well, let's see. Let's pull out the list. So yes, I do pick out colors. Um, Pillows, which is, the basic interior design stuff. But we do go in and we can remodel kitchens and bathrooms. Those are typically the things that we're remodeling. A lot of times, it'll start with, hey, I need a new color for my bathroom. And it kind of just escalates and moves into, let's just do a remodel. And so that's definitely something that we provide. So it's a little bit of everything. But our niche and what we started doing 10 years ago was truly interior design, wallpaper, paint, selecting tiles. Me going into a tile store is like a kid in a candy store. Like I love doing it. Or even picking out paint. Everyone's intimidated by it. And I'm like, it's just paint. Like, you don't like it, we redo it. So, and everyone's like scared of it. I'm like, no, don't be afraid. But that just painting is one of the simplest things that you can do to your house to just like zhuzh it up. And people are very scared of it. And I'm like, no, that's like the easiest thing you can do is paint a room. And the best thing is if you don't like it, redo it. It's just paint.
You can paint over it, right? Use a different color. So that brings up another question then, Lilly. What is your bet? What's your biggest piece of advice to someone who may be selling their house in the next 6 months?
Selling a house in the next 6 months. This is tricky. I do have real estate agents that bring me in to prep the house and stage it sometimes. We do staging with the clients, their own furniture. We don't bring any furniture in. But one of the things that we do tell them is if you are one of those people like me that has various colors in your house, you're going to have to paint it back to a neutral color. Why is that? Because the people that come in to possibly buy your house, they need to be able to envision themselves in that space. So you have to take away all of who you are, right? Because we've surrounded ourselves with the things that we love and that we like and that bring us joy. That includes colors. We have to take those out and allow someone else to visualize themselves and their stuff in this new home. So.
Yeah, and that's hard, but we've also made the decision that we're going to sell our house, right? So when we make that decision, then we've got to put something more neutral, I'm guessing, on the walls so that when people come in to look at the house, they can see themselves there without your big red wall or your big yellow wall or whatever color that you love, right? In there.
Texans red or Cowboys blue or whichever.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Lilly. So I've done some crazy things. We had a yellow wall with purple handprints on it when our son was younger. I had a bathroom that I painted purple. I'm talking about purple with blue sponge over the top of it. I am not afraid of paint.
In my own heart. I mean,
I'm not afraid of paint. Although it is hard to cover up when you use those dark colors. I'm just saying. Now, paint has come a long way, where it does cover up those dark colors, and way more about that than I do. So, if we've got some listeners that are really interested in connecting with you, Lilly, just having a conversation, want to know what it is that you do, or maybe even want to talk to you about services, how can they find you?
I have a website. It's a glorified business card. I have pictures on there. And a little bit about me, if you want to go in there and read, it's www.herbandz.com. And you can find all my information there.
Fantastic. I'm going to put that in the show notes as well. So if you happen to be in front of your computer listening, you can just click and go directly there. You can even comment in the social posts where you're watching this and get a hold of Lilly. You can just do a @Lilly, and I'm sure it will pop up and tag her. So Lilly, as we get to the back end of our conversation today, I would love if you would share one of your favorite client stories.
So right now, top of the list is the young lady that we installed the elevator for. And we went in and she just knew she needed to update her kitchen and her bath. And like I said, we slowly started talking about aging in place and what that's going to look like. And we went from I think it was a just basic white kitchen. I don't even remember what color it was at this point, to a beautiful blue with brown doors, stained brown doors, cabinets and kitchens, all new appliances, new beautiful backsplash. I just got a picture. They installed the chairs yesterday, her dining room chairs. We installed an elevator, so now she can go up and down. So yeah, that makes me happy. And when I see things like that, that keeps me going. So yeah, I love
I
it.
love that. So, was it an easy decision for her to go with blue in her kitchen?
No, it was one of those things when you hire me, we have to build a trust because I can walk in there and I can visualize what it's going to look like and not all my clients can. And so we'll do renderings and I can show you more or less what it's going to look like, but it's one of those things that you have to trust that I know what I'm doing and I know what it's going to look like when we're done. And she did tell me, she goes, "Lily, I'm a little scared of this flue." I said, "Okay, you know what? You don't like it? We'll just repaint it." And that was kind of like, "Oh, okay." And so we went with it. But she loves it. She's happy with it. And it brings her joy. The house looks completely different. It's very bright and vibrant. She's happy.
Oh, yes, that's amazing. All right. KirbyandZ.com, right? That's where folks are going to find you. They can look at pictures. They maybe soon can see the blue kitchen if you put it out there. And even connect with you on social. Are you on social media where people can find you as well?
Yes, we are on Facebook and Instagram. Same thing, Kirby and Z.
Okay, fantastic. Lily, I'm so glad you came and joined me today. This was so much fun.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. You may have to come back and we can talk about like how our furniture should sit in the rooms, like how is it really zen and does it work for people, right? I'm just saying. I think that would be a tough one.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Thanks so much again, Lily. I appreciate it. Anybody who would like to connect with Lily, please check the show notes, or you can just go to KirbyandZ.com to connect with her and see the beautiful work that she's already done. That's all the time we have for today's show. Join us next time for another exciting episode of Houston Business Radio. Until then, stay tuned, stay inspired, and keep thriving in the Houston business community.